Welcome back to another episode of MotoGP Mac, and today we're going to talk about the first day of testing in Qatar. Now, before we get into it, here is how they finished. Pecco Bagnaia finished the day fastest from Jorge Martin, Aleix Espargaro, Brad Binder, Fabio Di Giannantonio, Maverick Viñales, Alex Marquez, Enea Bastianini, Johan Zarco, Fabio Quartararo, Marco Bezzecchi, Raul Fernandez, Joan Mir, Jack Miller, Pedro Acosta, Marc Marquez, Taka Nakagami, Luca Marini, Alex Marquez, Augusto Fernandez, Miguel Oliveira, Michele Pirro filling in for Franco Morbidelli, and Cal Crutchlow. Now, there's still not a lot of information out about how the day went, but Pecco in lap 36 of 51 set the fastest lap. Jorge Martin, again, set it on lap 45 of 58, 2/10 behind. Not too far behind, but again, that is a decent chunk around Qatar. Aleix Espargaro, again, really impressive, keeping the two boys in front honest. Also, Brad Binder, within 3/10 of Pecco, but within 1/10 of Jorge Martin. I know it is testing, but again, it is pretty impressive that they're going this quick, this early. Fabio Di Giannantonio as well, a little bit back at 4/10 of a second. Mav did not too bad as well, within 4/10 of a second. And Alex Marquez at half a second off, which is a bit, but saying that, he is ahead of Enea Bastianini, which is not a bad thing to say. Real surprise for me was Johan Zarco. Now, he did do the fastest lap on lap 50 of his 52 laps, which was towards the end. So he definitely did a time attack. But again, not bad to see a Honda in the top 10 in the hands of Johan Zarco. Fabio Quartararo, I would call it solid, 6/10 of a second. Really, I would think Yamaha working on race setup. They have their aero and engine sorted. Surprised a little bit with Marco Bezzecchi, but it is better than what he was doing in Sepang. The gap is a little bit closer. Really good for Raul Fernandez, if I'm honest, top 12, far ahead of his teammate Miguel Oliveira. Now, is Miguel Oliveira testing something? I doubt it, but at 1.9 seconds behind Pecco's lap, and you could say really 1.5 seconds behind Aleix Espargaro. There is a bit of a gap there as he is on works equipment. A good day for Joan Mir, 13th place, 7/10 of a second. It's not bad. Jack Miller, who definitely was doing grunt work, let's just call it, ended up in 14th place, the bones of 9/10 of a second away. Pedro Acosta was the same, 9/10 of a second away. Little bit surprised with Marc Marquez being in 16th place, 9/10, just over 9/10 of a second behind. But then there is kind of like a 2/10 of a second gap between himself and Nakagami in 17th. Luca Marini, about a 10th off Nakagami. I definitely think Marini, Marquez, Acosta, Miller, Mir were definitely looking at race pace. Although, when you do look at Mir, he did go for a fast lap towards the end, but definitely it was interesting for me. Marini set his fastest lap on lap 39 of 51, whereas Mir set his fastest lap on 50 of 52. Alex Rins, again, he did have a run towards the end. He set his fastest lap on lap 50 of 51, so maybe some worry or concerns there for Rins. He's not gelling with it as much as we thought he was. Augusto Fernandez, again, a long way behind, 1.7 seconds from Pecco, but 6 or 8/10 of a second behind his own teammate. Miguel Oliveira then, as I spoke about, 1.9 seconds behind, and 1.5 seconds off the fastest Aprilia, which is a little bit worrying. Michele Pirro, 2.4 seconds off, and Cal Crutchlow, 2.4 seconds off. I didn't expect Michele Pirro to be that far behind, if I'm honest, but again, maybe it is that he is just race testing parts rather than going for performance. Cal Crutchlow did a 2.4 seconds off the pace lap and he was on a time attack. He said it on lap 53 of 55. So, kind of a similar strategy actually to Rins. But all in all, a lot will come out over the course of the evening. I know Ducati were running some 2023 parts on the Beast's bike. I know Aprilia have a kind of an adaptation of the Batmobile style. There's a little bit of a piece of plastic put in the bottom of it. So I will have more pictures of that. But all in all, the test is done. Tomorrow I expect, people to go for it towards the middle towards the end of the day. Remember, the test is going on in night time over in Qatar, so it will definitely be interesting. But I would definitely love to know your thoughts. Any surprises from the first day of the test? Definitely leave your thoughts in the comments below, and I'll be back again tomorrow with another video.